All right, we are just at 1 o'clock. So we'd like to take a moment to welcome everybody to day 2, our special post-meeting session of the Virtual Learning Collaborative, or the VLC, kickoff meeting. So we want to thank everyone for joining us yesterday. We know it was a long afternoon, but also hopefully you felt as we did that it was such a strong and awesome opportunity to be able to hear from colleagues and work with colleagues over the hours, and also going into the launch of our VLC sessions in September 2021. But today is going to be a little different, and so we want to prepare you for that. This is a special session designed to be all about you. And so we want to ensure that you have an opportunity to really embrace and think about what it means to be a public health professional and how you enter into this space. So with that, I won't take too much time, but want to introduce our facilitators for today, who are esteemed colleagues of mine and colleagues at NASTAD, both directors. First, we have Isaiah Webster, who is the Director for Capacity Building Assistance at NASTAD. And then Rosy Galvan, who is the Director of Health Equity at NASTAD. And with that, I will turn it over to Isaiah and Rosie, and also want to shout out Alex, who's co-leading this session.
Thank you, Blatma, and thanks for having us. I am from a water world circling a small star in a spiral galaxy. I am from the South, and I associate myself with all the things that means. I am from Black parents who prepared me for the life I now lead. I am first of 4, followed by 2 sisters and 1 brother. I am Baptist. I am spiritual. I am constantly self-discovering. I am from do as I say and not as I do. I am from pink is for girls and blue is for boys. I am from you can't do what they do. I am from a chosen family that supports and sustains me. I am from a community that appreciates and addresses great things. I am from a perspective that affirms me and lifts others. I have spoken. It is such an honor to be with you all today. Rosie and I are part of the team of facilitators for our Minority Leadership Program, or MLP. And this activity is really one of the first ones we offer in MLP. It is adapted from an exercise that was created by Dr. Beverly Tatum. She is a researcher, she's a scholar, she's an author, and her work really focuses on getting folks to think about their origin and where they're from and what that means. Today, we really want to focus on mindfulness, and we really want to focus on self-centering. And Rosie and I are sharing this activity with you all because we think that it's a great way to do a little bit of a deeper dive on who you are. So normally when we meet people, we do an introduction similar to the one that Blatma did for me. This is Isaiah, he's director of this, he works at this place. And that's important. But what's more important is why I choose to work at NASTAD and how I ended up doing this work and how my perspective and my lived experience informs my work. And so I am from gets at that. And so today, what we'd like to do is to have you talk a little bit about where you're from. Prior to the meeting, the organizers shared with you a worksheet that walks you through this exercise. We're going to put this worksheet in the chat. So if you don't have it in front of you, you can pull it up from the chat. I'm going to give you just a moment to grab that worksheet, and then I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do next. So we're going to put everyone into a small group. You're going to be in a group of 6 or 7 people, and you're going to have a total of 35 minutes. When you get into your group, the first thing I want you to do is take the first 15 minutes just to write out your I am from. It's really important that you write this from your own perspective, and it should flow from you. You don't want to overthink it. You just want it to flow, and just write what comes to you. It's also important that it be true to you. You don't have to mimic the poem that I did. It doesn't have to rhyme. You can write it however you want to write it, because it's your story to tell. If you get stuck and you want to throw in something that's maybe a little bit embellished or made up, keep in mind that no one's going to know except you. So do whatever you need to do to get yourself through this exercise, but know that it's really about being as revealing as you're willing to be within this space. If you're listening to the person that's speaking, I want you to focus on being present, listening to exactly what they have to say. Don't think about what you're going to say when it's your turn. Don't focus on anything else. Just focus on that person and their perspective and their story, and know that when it's your turn, your colleagues will do the same for you. So you'll have 15 minutes to work on your poem, and then I'm going to give you another 20 minutes for everyone in your group to share. And I would like you to take no more than 3 minutes per person once you get into the sharing portion. Then we'll come back in this circle together and do some processing of the activity. Before I send you to your breakouts, what questions do you have about what we're about to do? There's a question in the chat about cameras. I would say that when you're writing, your camera can be off, but when you're sharing, I'm going to encourage you to turn on your camera. It's your choice, but I'm going to encourage you to do that because it'll help build a connection with the folks in your group. Thank you, Blatma. Other questions? There's a question from Jasmine about intros. Jasmine, can you come off mute and clarify that question? Do you mean intros within the small groups?
Yeah, since we'll be with 6 folks that we may or may not know, should we introduce ourselves first, or the poem in and of itself will be an introduction?
I would encourage you to first just write your poem out. And when you share the poem, if you'd like to do an introduction after you've read it, that would be okay to do. But let your I am from be your introduction. Last call for questions. Okay. Amy, are we ready for our groups?
Yes, we are. I'm going to go ahead and launch them in just a moment here. Just adjusting a couple numbers. Okay, here we go. Okay, looks like a few people are still in this room. Isaiah, Rosie, Wadama, did you want to move into a room? I think you may have stayed in this room because you're pinned.
Yeah, and I'm actually fine with staying in too, to let folks who come in know what the exercise is, or I don't know, Isaiah, if you want to take the lead on that. Like I see Zakia just joined us.
Yes, so I would rather we not go into the space because I want to preserve that space for just them, and then we can process with them as facilitators on the other side of it. What I normally do is just put all of the facilitators in a breakout room of our own.
Looks like there are 2 participants in our group now that need to be moved.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna move Zakaya into a room.
And Dr. Thomas as well.
Interesting. He's not showing up as not assigned. Let me see. Hold on, Dr. Thomas. I'm going to try to move you into a room.
Hey, Dr. Thomas.
Interesting. It looks like you were maybe assigned to a room, but maybe it didn't move. All right, hold on one sec.
It looks like we've had one additional participant join us.
Amy, if I may suggest, try moving Dr. Thomas to the waiting room and readmitting Dr. Thomas, and that might resolve the problem.
Okay, I was thinking perhaps the same thing. All right. All right.
Rosie, I realized that I did all the talking and didn't share the mic with you in that session.
No, it's all good. It is all good, Isaiah.
So when we come back, you did ask for some time to do a little bit of a further sharing of MLP, correct?
Yes, yes, I did. And it can be at the very end, maybe.
No, I will make sure to carve out time for that.
Okay, perfect. And I'm just being mindful of Dr. Thomas, who's still with us.
Yes. So it looks like you're supposed to be in room 10. I'm not sure if you got a prompt. I'm just going to try to move you into another room since that seems to have not worked. Hold on. I'm going to move you to room 1 and see if you should get a prompt. It looks like we have another person joining who maybe we just lost. Dr. Thomas, did you get the prompt to join room number 1?
Via email?
No, it should come through Zoom.
No.
Yeah, it should be a prompt that you received because I just moved you to a room. Do you have all of your controls available?
Yes.
I'll try to move you one more time. Are you hopefully seeing a prompt?
No.
Hold on, I'm going to try to troubleshoot this.
In the
Dr.
meantime,
Thomas, I'm sorry, Rosie, go ahead.
we're probably saying the same thing. If you'd like to work on your worksheet now while we figure it out, since that's what they're doing in the small groups anyway.
Oh my God, we share a mind, Rosie.
Do you have that file, Dr. Thomas, with the worksheet?
Yes, the poem, right? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Hi, Amy. I know you're troubleshooting on your end, but I sent you a message in the chat just to give if you could broadcast the message to all so that they can see it in their breakouts. And I've sent you the message to broadcast via chat.
Perfect. I will do that.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Sorry, Dr. Thomas, they're still troubleshooting. Have you seen any messages pop up? Still not, oh no. Hmm. Thank you.
We had some tech issues. So I apologize for that if you didn't get an opportunity to share with others, but we're going to do some sharing in this space in just a second. To get us started, what I want you to do, everyone, if you can, in the chat, put one word to describe how that felt. Was it nerve-wracking? Was it fun? Was it revealing? Tell me how you're feeling and put it in the chat. Vulnerable, moving, honest, fun, intimate, refreshing, deep, freeing, powerful, interesting, different. I don't know how to pronounce that. Fascinating. Thank you so much for being so honest with your feelings about how this went. A lot of the words that you're putting into the chat are some of the same words that Rosie and I see often, and how folks tell us that they feel when they do I am from. So this is kind of par for the course for this activity. And I just want to acknowledge that all of those feelings, safe, fascinating, pressure, there's a wide range of emotions that come up in an exercise like this. So thank you for being willing to participate. You can probably tell where I'm going with this, but I would like to see if we can get a few folks who would be willing to share their I am from with all of us. So you've had a chance to do it, just write it just yourself. You've had a chance to share it with a small group. Now I'd like to see if I can get maybe 3 folks to share their I'm from with the entire group. And I'm gonna ask if you're willing to do it, that you turn your camera on to do so. So do we have some brave souls with us today? Don't postpone joy.
I'll go.
What's your name?
So my name is Ruby Simon.
Ruby, the floor is yours.
Okay, so I am from New York City. I am from Broadway shows. I am from sirens and car horns. I am from charcoal burning in the distance. I am from soul food that is good for your soul. I am from fried chicken. I am from mac and cheese. I am from collard greens and candy yams. I am from cornbread. I am from God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. I am from camp meeting in October. I am from block parties. I am from dance classes and sewing lessons. I am from talent shows. I am the 3rd of 4 children. I am from public schools. I am from Antioch Baptist Church. I am from MGH. And I am finished.
Thank you, Ruby. You did that perfectly. That was a great modeling for your peers. I'm from Antioch Baptist Church as well, from Alexandria, Louisiana. We should talk later. Let's hear from 2 more voices, at least 2 more.
Hi, this is Jaiju. I am from New Mexico, the land of enchantment, the chilies, the tacos, and we have a lot. And I am originally from India, and we are from unity in diversity. I am from public health. I started public health 2000s. So, and we are from Project Echo. And UNM, we are White Sands, then Santa Fe, the city of faith, and that's all. Yeah.
Thank you. Very good. We are so happy that you were willing to share your I am from with us.
Thank you.
Let's hear from at least 1 more person.
I'll go ahead and share because my teammate said, go ahead and share, and I don't want to disappoint her. So I'll go ahead and share. So I am from the beauty of the lake, the expanse of the ocean, the freshness of the air, the sunset, the dazzles, the quietness of the night, the large starry sky. I am from the eternal connection to humanity. I am from the busy kitchens filled with the laughter of my mother, my aunties, my sisters, the chatter of conversation with each boiling pot and simmering meal. I am from the long prayers of my mother that have kept us through life. I am from the bosom of a loving family. I'm from Kenya. That's where that comes from. And that's it.
What's your name?
Joyce Bugwa. I'm from Iowa.
Joyce, thank you so much. Such a beautiful I am from. Thank you. I'm going to go to Buatama in a second, but I just want to see if there's anyone else in this virtual circle that would like to have a chance to share. Okay, Buatama, I have heard your I am from before, but it's beautiful, and I'm going to ask you to share it with this group.
I just took a very deep breath, Isaiah. Oh, all right, forgiveness, please. And it's long, and I'll try to go quickly. I am from rainbow-colored sunsets, vast yards, quiet, and the revving engines of classic cars in summertime. I am from Chui and from Ga, from Creole and French, from pop and not soda, from Cardis and cars before homes, a suburb pulling from the Motor City's past. I am from Fela, Marley, Simone, and Belgrave. I am from Detroit Mixes, Dipset, ATLiens, and Destiny's Child, Badu, Mos Def, Mr. Cheeks, Cardi B, and Black Hole Sun, Won't You Come, and Teen Spirit. I am from Azonto, Jitting, Booty Popping, also known as Twerking, Plie, and Tandu. I am from Olga's and Coney Island, Parmesan crust, and deep dish seafood pizzas. I am from Kenki and Fufu, Moi Moi, Plasas, cassava leaves, okra stew, potato leaves, and red, fingers that add flavor, and spoons to prevent scars, and palm oil stains as a constant reminder of where I come from. I am from shared bowls and childhood and reminders I'm an adult and should know how to make my own by now. I am from sweet potatoes, candy jams, potato salad, fried chicken, turkey, ham bones, dressing, and never stuffing, mac and cheese. I am from biblical references and teachings of Islam. I am from existentialist. I am from contradiction that informs love and respect for so much. I am from Kente and bride price, separate but together, jumping the broom and naming ceremonies. I am the baby and at times the black sheep. I am from a tight-knit community and family of aunties, uncles, and cousins, some whose blood flows through me and some who does not. I am from Uwu and Go Blue. I am from Amen and Ashe. I am from Apiteshi, poured out to the ancestors, plates of black-eyed peas and something green. I am from love and acceptance. I am from accept who you are. I am from this land is your land that ripped and tore away. I am from shame and from pride. I am from historical horror and modern day terror. I am from the center and my circle is tight.
Thank you so much, Buatama, for being willing to share. I have to say, when she and I work together, obviously, I know that she's an HIV and hepatitis expert. I know that she's a lawyer, but it wasn't until I heard that her I am from that I really felt like I knew Buatama and why she does this work. And it was so revealing and so enriching to me as her colleague. And so I really encourage you all to consider this activity with your teams or with your bureaus or with your tight-knit folks that you work with, because you can really get to know them on a different level. I'm going to turn the floor over to my colleague, Rosie.
Thank you, Isaiah, and thank you everyone for your bold vulnerability. It is so beautiful to witness you as you really are. I wanted to talk a little bit about how we use this activity. My name is Rosy Galvan, Director of Health Equity at NASTAD, but before my role here, I was at the New York State Department of Health and participated in MLP in 2018, and it completely transformed my life. It's the first activity we do. Before even saying hi to each other, we dive right in with this. And I wanted to name why that's important. For starters, as people of color, we have to really hide who we are to adopt to white standards in the workplace. And in and of itself, that process is quite dehumanizing, impacts our mental health, and prevents us from bringing the strengths that are needed to make health equity happen. So we start the space off immediately, letting folks know that who they are in their whole selves is what the space needs. I would invite folks to lean into a reflection I've been sitting with recently about how oppression dehumanizes all of us, and how, although code switching is specific to people of color, part of white supremacy and how it shows up in the workplace is removing who we are from our work. And what this exercise invites you to remember is that who you are is the work. So I, in addition to this exercise, really encourage folks to create settings where people can be themselves fully, because we cannot continue to divorce ourselves and end the epidemics without being who we are in this journey. So just wanted to explain how we use it in MLP, how although it's a people of color space, our liberation is very much intertwined and interdependent. And just encouraging folks to remember that you're here for a reason and your stories are not separate from your role. And it's all connected on our paths. So with that being said, I'll turn it back over to Isaiah to close us out.
One of the things we always remind, thank you, Rosie. One of the things we always remind the MLP cohorts that spend so much time together and with us is that sharing your story and sharing your expertise is a gift. When someone takes the time to share their story with you and to invest in your leadership, that's really a gift. And so receiving that gift, even in this space today, and sharing your stories is really the spirit that we're coming from. And so we want to appreciate the fact that you all chose to spend this hour with us. We want to appreciate the fact that so many of you have offered the gift of your lived experience, because that really is what's going to keep us centered in the work that we're doing. And Rosie and I want to thank you for allowing us to be a part of your meeting and to be a part of this space with you. So Boatema, I'm going to turn it over to you.
If I can unmute myself. Well, I mean, we really just want to also wrap it up by saying thank you to you, Isaiah, and to you, Rosie, for taking us through this exercise. It's not easy to, I think what we often do try to do is come in and out of who we are personally in order to do the work, and to be challenged to come into the space and be able to maintain and sustain and recognize the importance of our colleagues being able to work with us as who we are is so important. We give all the communities, or we strive to give all the communities that we work with grace, but we don't necessarily always remember to extend that grace to one another. So to have you share that with us was so significant and so important. So thank you all so much. And thank you to all of you who joined. We know you're super busy, and we've, I'll say taken, borrowed some time from you over the last 2 days, but you all have been so awesome and so involved in each moment of this. And so we're excited to jump into the next steps of the Virtual Learning Collaborative with you all. And I know it's not always comfortable, but this is how we want to also approach our work in the VLC, because we are working, though we're all over the country, we work so closely together, especially in hepatitis. And so for us to continue to tighten that unit is just going to be awesome. So we're excited to be on this journey with all of you. And with that, we will say thank you, and we look forward to seeing you all very soon. Oh, before we let you go, please be sure to complete the evaluation so we get a sense of your experience of this exercise as well before you hop off the line, or feel free to save the link and you can complete it at any time. But thank you very, very much.